welcome back to Legion Locked. We are picking up right where we left off and continuing the questline of the Blue Dragons. We are sent to investigate the Azure Wing whelplands, where we find out they are being attacked by Withered. We do the classic kill 12 mobs and revive 10 whelplings before being sent to find Runas the Shamed inside the cave. We end up sparing him as he promises to help us in exchange for his life.
I hope you can see beyond my tattered robes and desperate behavior. I am not a monster. Watch, I shall prove it to you. I am not just a mana-addled freak like the rest of those wretches.
I have to say, I love Runas. His dialogue is so funny to me, especially the banter with Senegos is a highlight.
So, why are you here, Azsuna friend? Just visiting your, what?
Does this one ever stop talking?
Runas has taken us to the Leyline Ruins, where we continue the story by gathering mana crystals, disrupting the bad guys' plan, and slaying their leaders. At the same time, we also have a world quest which requires us to do pretty much the same thing. 2 birds, 1 stone. But all is not done yet.
We shall feast on the dragons instead.
We ride on Stelagosa back to the Azure Wing Repose to find it being overrun by more Withered. We complete the quests to assist our allies by ending the attack and slaying their leader. And by the end of that, we are making progress on the achievement Azsuna Matata, which now only has 2 storylines remaining. We make a quick vendor stop to sell off our junk and get repairs when I notice that we actually have an uncollected toy in our bags, Runas' crystal grinder. Nice! We had also received the Emigosa pet, however, I already have that one, so we were good with just selling it. We picked up another flight point and got started with a few quests Ted Shoemaker has in store for us. We spy on the Legion, collect demon souls, and blow up the portal. After running around a bit, mining and looting some treasures, we went looking for Prince Ferondis.
I will escort you to Prince Ferondis if that is what you truly wish.
And this is where I had to make some decisions. As I was doing some more quests, I noticed that some of these were already completed by my warband, at least the main campaign quests. And so I started wondering if it was even worth doing all of those again, or, for the sake of the challenge, just doing the ones I have not yet done. You guys can let me know in the comments what you would prefer, but for now, I decided to turn in the last few quests and skip the rest of the campaign. This way, I can focus more on the side quests, which are pretty much the only ones I have pending, according to ATT. We dinged level 30 as well and headed down to the ruins with Prince Ferondis.
I am taking my leave, Night Watchers, though I doubt you will miss me. Stay close. Do not leave my side.
In the ruins, we did the world quest The Broken Academy and tried picking up some uncollected treasures. Emphasis on try. Before calling it a day and heading back to Dalaran. Our Azsuna completion sits currently at 20.52%. Back in Dalaran, we did a couple of things. First, we stopped by our jewel crafting trainers to learn a new recipe, the design for the Azunite loop. And as I looked at where I could get some of the other recipes from, I noticed that a lot seemed to come from quests rather than the trainer. so I'll have to take a deeper look at the profession side of things in Legion at some point. Next, we went and picked up cooking, which is the one I forgot in the first episode. But that's okay, cooking is not exactly a priority right now. But again, it's quite useful to slowly level this alongside the others while we are completing zones. We then headed back to the Fellhammer. We picked up our order of Ashtong warriors and also took a quick look at the mission table to receive our rewards and send our companions back out into the field to keep this moving as well. Before leaving again, we also got started with researching our second class hull upgrade, Twisting Nether. Oh, and I also changed the color of our warglaves. And as our last pit stop, we quickly teleported to Stormwind so we can post some stuff on the auction house, mostly the gems and chips we made from prospecting ore. I'll make sure to also include a quick mailbox opening every time so we know what has sold and what has not. This is just something I personally like doing, and it's a nice way to make some extra gold for potential vendor purchases down the line. Okay, now we're truly done. Back to Azsuna we go. Since I'm kind of skipping the campaign quests, I decided to go riding around and pick up as many side quests as I could, as well as finish exploring the whole of Azsuna and picking up the remaining flight paths. In the meantime, I was also mining and picking up any treasures I could find. We also made our first archaeology stop. This was quite an interesting location. But we got it done in the end. The artifact we created was the Inert Laystone Charm, a highborn artifact. We made sure to carefully wrap it up and store it so we can give it to the archaeologists in Dalaran on our next visit. While we continue treasure hunting, we end up at the shipwreck arena and we receive this. We can only use it in Azsuna, and it causes a shipwrecked captive to appear with a bed paddling quest. We tried to beat him, but unfortunately did not succeed. I am not quite sure what to do with the pet battles. I don't really want to use any of the high-level pets that I have from other expansions, but the few Legion pets that I have are not high enough level to battle in these zones. So we might have to do a pet battle episode soon. Maybe we'll just use the pets we have to capture our first 3 pets from Legion and then switch over. Just because I don't really see any other way of doing this. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, definitely leave a comment below. Speaking of the shipwreck arena, we find Okuna Longtusk and get pulled into this rivalry of fighters. We meet Boss Whalebelly, who is kind of rude to us, but it's okay, because we do end up winning the fight against him. This is also where we find Nomi, a Pandaren cook who will meet us in Dalaran whenever we have the time. In return, he'll teach us a new cooking recipe. After beating Boss Whalebelly and saying bye to Nomi, we head deeper into the caves and start a rebellion with the captives by arming them and getting rid of some of the Naga in the area. We get another world quest called Plunder the Cove, which we start taking care of as well. This whole area is filled with these elite giants, and because I'm still leveling, they're kind of a hard fight, so I try my best to avoid them and only go for the easy prey for now. We also run into our first rare of the series, Flog the Captain Eater. When I first saw him, I thought we had lucked out since he wasn't at full health. Turns out, that doesn't really matter much. It took us a couple of tries and sneaky moves, but eventually we got it done. And we got Bosun's acid-blotched cape for it. For now though, We continue by picking up the quest A Favor for Mr. Shackle and set out to free 3 captives. This is also where we run into a familiar face, Okuna Longtusk. She's been imprisoned as well and tasks us with freeing her and killing Prince Oceanus. Done. We finally find Mr. Shackle, who is very grateful for our help and instantly gives us 2 more quests to do that we haven't completed yet: Maritime Law and Making the World Safe Again for Profit. They are your classic quests to kill some mobs in the neighborhood, and we get it done quickly enough. We pick up another flight point and find our second rare, the Gilbin Looters. It is here at the shipwreck that we notice something interesting. This isn't just any boat that ran ashore. It is the Queen's Reprisal, Sylvanas' ship, and its forsaken sailors, see what I did there, have been captured and poisoned. So we do the right thing and put them out of their misery while finishing our quests. And the last step to do so is to dive into the shipwreck and retrieve the captain's chest, which contains valuable information about the possible whereabouts of Sylvanas. Now that we have done all those quests, we are almost at 22% completion of Azsuna, so I took a moment to pull up the map to see where we could head to next. Most of our current quests were completed and just needed to be turned in, but we chose to first go for the Princess Going to Drown since it was closest to us. And then I made the executive decision to Hearthstone back to Dalaran since we also had 2 quests to turn in there. And by turning in the captain's logs, which we had retrieved from Sylvanas' ship, we also got an achievement, Azsuna Matata, which means that we have completed all the optional storylines of Azsuna. And it also caused us to level up to 37. We also found Nomi, just as promised, and learned our first new cooking recipe. Now we are tasked with learning 6 Legion cooking recipes. And with the ones we already had and could purchase, we only needed 3 more. Not bad. Since we will be doing quite some cooking, I decided to stock up on the vendor ingredients. I tend to do this every time with all of my characters because it's much easier to already have those things and be able to focus on the ingredients I need to collect from the world instead. Now that that was done, we got back to Azsuna and I decided to run around just collecting stuff for a bit. That included the flight points, mining nodes, and also the treasures scattered around the map. I made some adjustments to my add-on so that once I collected the treasure, it would no longer mark it on my map. This made it a whole lot easier to keep track of it since there are achievements for collecting all the treasures in this zone. While running around, I found the little demon Daglob. He looks like a cute fella looking to make a deal. We did read the contract as best as we could. And signed it to officiate our deal. Then we collected the ingredients Daglob needed for his ritual. He led us to a cave to perform the ritual and then let us handle the cleanup of the mess he made. But I can't help but feel a little good about helping a little demon escape eternal servitude. We continued running around Azsuna, collecting treasure and slaying rare creatures as we find them. Since we are still so early on in this challenge, there's no need to start actively farming any particular rare yet. We still have quite some things to collect, so we can basically just do circles around the zone for now. We do find one of the more important vendors in Azsuna, Marin Bladewing, the emissary of the Wardens. And as you can see, We can't really buy anything just yet because this is a reputation-based vendor, so we'll need to work on that. But at least we know where we can find it now. And while selling some of the equipment that we don't need, we add 2 to our collection as well. The sun-bleached hand wraps and the Rutvan Vam braces. We head back to the Fellhammer as our missions have been completed and pick up the rewards. We send our companions out again because we need to keep these moving if we want to keep up. Since we picked up 100 bits of demon blood while questing through Azsuna, we turn in that quest to Kane's Sun Fury and the Class Whole Order campaign picks up again. We manage to make contact with Illidan, who officially puts us in charge of the Illidari.
I have been expecting you. Ah, good. Kane's Sun Fury. My lord. There is little time. Listen closely. I entrusted the duplicitous Akama with planning the campaign against the Legion. He alone knows every detail. You will need his counsel if you are to succeed. You must also regain the Sargerite Keystone to invade the Legion's worlds. Find out where the Wardens hid it away. We have attracted attention. I must move. You will not be able to contact me like this again. The Illidari are now yours.
And now we know what to do next.
Illidari, salute our new leader!
We pick up the quest from Matron Mother Malevolence to head to the Violet Citadel to locate an Archmage who is all too familiar with her and willing to help. Except now I receive the task to chase down a devious imp, and let me tell you, it all started out nice and dandy. We ran through Dalaran and caught up with the imp every time, until the very last part.
That sneaky imp. It headed southeast and then turned invisible. Quickly, use your spectral sight and see if you can spot it.
Now that we got that out of the way and finished up at the Fellhammer, I decided I needed something easy to relax. So we went around to some vendors and bought 4 pets to add to the collection. The obsidian hatchling, the albino snake, the cat carrier containing the calico cat, and the nursery spider. And I bet you can guess where this led me. Pet battles. I need to rethink this. Anyway, to finish things off, we made another few laps around Azsuna and took down some more rares, picked up some more treasures, and made that number go up. We end up at 24.88% of Azsuna completed for this episode. I will leave you with this final montage. Thank you so much to everybody who watched part 1, who liked and subscribed. It really means the world to me. If you like this part as well, don't forget to leave a comment. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time on Legion Locked.